Hello friends, welcome back to Program with Akshay, and in today's video we are going to see how we can create and first step functions in our AWS console. Okay, so in this particular video we are going to create our first AWS step function in our AWS console. Okay, and we will try to explore AWS step function. So we are going to create a sample hello world step function where we are going to see the states and the Amazon state languages, and we are going to see the various events and the various properties for the AWS step function. So let's start without wasting any time. So to create step function, first try to log into the console, AWS console, and inside the console, once you are logging into AWS console, select the region. In my case, I have in US East 1, that is North Virginia region. And once you selected the region, go to the step function service, and inside the step function service, we will see the get started. Okay, so once you go to the step function service, here they have given how it works. That means how we can create the workflow for AWS step functions and how we can invoke with other AWS services like lambdas, API gateway, and SRS. Okay, and this is how they have given the sample implementation of how the step function works. Okay, also they have given the benefits and the features, like what are the benefits. Like it has a built-in error handling, as we have seen in the previous video, automatic scaling, pay per use. We have seen how much we will charge, how much the AWS will charge. As I said, we have 4,000 state machines per transactions. Then this is all about the security. Okay, that means high availability and administrative security. These are the use cases. Okay, and these are the related service which can be integrated with AWS step functions. Okay, and this is about the pricing. I have not said, or I have not covered about the standard workflows and express workflows. Don't worry about this. The workflows I will cover in the upcoming sessions about what are the standard workflows and express workflows. Okay, and now let's get started. Let's create a hello world step function. So click on get started. Once you click on get started, you will be prompted with the three options. Okay, that means the first sample, run hello world with a predefined template, or you can select your choose existing template, or you can create your own template. Okay, so in this case I will going to create a real hello world, that means the predefined real hello world template. And this is how the AWS team or the AWS step functions has created the first hello world, my step function. Okay, now let's try to give a name here. Okay, and okay, let's say hello world first step function. Okay, as I said, we have something called as type. Okay, so don't worry about the standard and the express workflow. Now we have to create an IAM role. Okay, that means the permissions are required any in AWS. When we try to execute lambda or we try to execute API gateway, IAM roles are very important. Okay, so I will choose an existing role, okay, that is being created by AWS services. I will keep logging as off right now. And if you wanted to enable X-ray tracing, you can enable the X-ray tracing. For now, I won't create an X-ray tracing. So this is how we have done the configuration for AWS step function, and this is the design. Okay, once you go to the design, okay, and if you see there is a start. Okay, these are the state machines. There is a start, there is a past state, then there is a choice. If there is a hello world example, either yes or no. If it is a no, then it is a failure and it will end. If it is a yes, then it will wait for a 3 seconds, then it will have a parallel state execution, as we have seen in the previous slide for the account opening and for the logging. That means it is one past state is hello and another past state is world. Then it is combining into another past state, that is hello world, and it is executing our states and ending the step function. So this is how the workflow is being designed. Now you can imagine how will application, or how your microservices application will execute with the help of AWS step function, where you can execute the parallel transactions in the one past state, and you can execute another transaction in another past state. Okay, that means assuming that you can execute one lambda in one past state and you can execute another lambda in another past state. Okay, so this is how the step function works. It is a simple graphical design of hello world, where it is starting and then it is passing, okay, the hello world example, then it is either no, then it is marking as a fail state and ending. If it is a yes, then it is waiting for a 3 second. That we have something called as in C sharp thread wait thread, okay, like for 3000 milliseconds and so on. Similarly, for step functions, we are waiting for 3 seconds. Then there is a parallel state execution. For one pass state, we are passing hello, and another pass state we are passing as world. Then in the past state, we are passing hello world, and then we are marking the execution as end. So this is how a step function is working, okay, and this is the code, okay. This is the code, and this is the predefined code which has been generated by the AWS step function. So this particular code, which follows an Amazon states languages, as I discussed in the previous session and in the previous video. Step functions are built on AWS Amazon States Languages, ASL. Okay, so this is an ASL language where we have create our step function. You can type your ASL language and you can create your own step function, or you can design a workflow by simple drag and drop. Okay, and this is how you do a configuration. Okay, so without further ado, let's try to create. And once you try to create, it will start the execution. It is asking you whether should I start the execution. So it will give you, do you want to specify a name that must be in 1 to 80 characters and can be alphanumeric characters. Okay, so this is a grid ID which is being provided by AWS. Okay, if you have a body, you can import the body, or you can type your body here. I don't have anything right now, as this is a sample hello world. I will start the execution. Okay, once the execution is started, okay, this is right now the execution is going on. As you can see, the execution is going on. How cool is that? Okay, now these are the state machines, and these are the tasks. That means the first it has started, that is the pass. Then it has, we have given an input hello world example, yes. Then it has waited for 3 seconds. Then the parallel state, there are two branches, branch number one, branch number two. Branch number one, we have passed hello. Branch number two, we have passed world. And inside this, we are have seen the hello world execution, and this has ended the state step functions. Okay, these are this is the graph view of our AWS step functions. You can easily move this graph view, and this is the tabular view where you can see the each and every events, okay, of the table view. Inside this, we have something called as events. Okay, and inside the events, like what are the events of each and every task. Okay, so these are the events where execution is started at this time. This is the timestamp, and this is the execution has ended, and this is the execution has succeeded. Okay, so this is the time where execution has succeeded. Okay, so these are the events where the each and every state at what time it has ended and what time it has started. Okay, and below that, where we can see the execution, like that means in the blue color it is in progress, in the pink color it is in failed, yellow color, this symbol indicates that it has caught an error, and this indicates it is cancelled, and green is nothing but succeeded. So this is how a step function execution takes place. Okay, and inside this execution and input, as I said, you can import your JSON, and you can execute your step function depending upon your states. And this is the definition where it is in ASL language. Okay, now if you see the actions, you can export or you can send the feedback. Now if you see that inside the step function, we have created a state machine, and inside the state machine we have created the hello world first step function, and this is the execution of our first step function. So we can create various state machines. That means hello world 1, hello world 2, hello world 3. That means for this is the like you can say in the real world, that is customer microservice, business microservice, HR microservice, and so on. Okay, and those are nothing but the state machines. Okay, if you see, this is our first state machine is being created. Now this is the grid of the step functions. Inside the step functions, we can see the state machines, and inside the state machines we can see the number of total. That means the total execution, succeeded, running, failed, timeout, and aborted. Okay, so this is how we can get the overall you can say the summary of our state machine. Okay, now if you try to select, okay, and you can start the execution again. If you wanted to start the execution, this is the first execution. Okay, that is we have we have run our first execution. We have seen that this is the grid ID, this is the status, this is the start time, and this is the end time. Okay, these are the execution logs. These are the logging logs. Like if you have done the X-ray tracing when while doing the creation, I haven't selected the checkbox. This is the definition. This is the alias. We haven't selected any alias here. These are the versions. Okay, now this is the version 1, version 1.1, version 1.2. Once you try to create the revision of the state machines, it will appear here. And these are the tags. Okay, we don't have any tags right now. Okay, and this is the IAM role, the existing IAM role which we have imported from the from the IAM policies. And this is the ARN for our first state machine. Okay, so this is all about our first step function hello world, and let's try to deep dive into the upcoming sessions about AWS step functions. So stay tuned. I hope you have got the little idea how to create step functions. As you have realized, there is minimal coding while creating AWS step function. So in the upcoming session we will try to deep dive into what are AWS step functions, and we will see more complex scenario. So stay tuned and happy learning, and do subscribe to the channel if you found this video really useful, and do share the content. Thank you and bye bye.